Hi there, long time no see, but here I am with the cross of the four ways. And it's so interesting because the gate that the sun sits in since yesterday is the gate of retreat, the voice that says, I remember, from the channel of the witness. And it is really the witness that retreats and withdraws inside in order to digest all the things that he was witnessing, and then will be able to share his stories and to let others learn from this history that is being accumulated, yes, in these witnesses. And it feels amazing that this month for me was a month of retreat. I'm just now coming back to more activity. And I could really only notice this now when I was making this presentation. I just noticed that I had this retreat, this time of privacy. I got inside, I withdrew inside, while being in a new place, while having many new experiences, but most of them were inward. And now I feel I'm beginning to get out of this retreat and being able to share or to open myself to the new cycle. It's all about, the stop codon of ending the cycles of the experiential way. And I really feel that a new cycle is beginning. And also it's very interesting, we know that the cross of the four ways ends every quarter, and we are in this week that ends the quarter of civilization, the quarter that deals with the manifestation with form. And it's beautiful to see that we have these expressions and the expression, the voice of the end of this quarter is I remember. So I had all these kind of experiences in the quarter of initiation and then in the quarter of civilization. I digested everything as a witness, and now I'm willing to go to the next step, which is the quarter of duality. So we need this retreat before we face another human being and sharing and doing something that is a combination of two beings, of two forms. So this is the 33rd gate, the voice I remember. And the 19th, the opposition of the wheel, in the wheel is interesting this week because the gate of approach, the need, the wanting, is being synthesized. it's the channel of synthesis. It's being connected to the 49th gate, the gate of revolution, the gate of emotional principles. And it's really funny to see how we have this channel that is also called the channel of the bride and the groom in the beginning, in the transitional week that takes us to the quarter of duality. So the tribal need reaches out for resources, for a mate, for God, for all these needs. And also with this global conditioning pattern, we also feel even more strongly the pressure that Pluto gives us, which is the marrying maiden. So the whole thing is this marriage stuff, this duality stuff is really in the air. And also we have the channel of logic, of course, from with gate 4 and gate 63, and gate 4 is also from the quarter of duality. So we have this transition, this very beautiful transition into the quarter of duality while we finish dealing with the form. Tomorrow we are going to feel the three ways, the three global conditioning patterns, in addition to the two channels that are going to stay here the whole week. We also have the channel of power for like 10 or 11 hours when the moon enters the gate of power in the sacral, and this gate we know that combines to three other gates in the body graph. Here we see it combines with Jupiter in the 57th gate, but of course people that have the 20th gate and the 10th gate are also going to feel it very personal. We need to remember that when we have these global conditioning patterns, we feel the energy, even if we personally are not affected, which can't really be, but let's say that we are not affected personally. It is so strong and it is everywhere, and the homogenized world just acts upon these global conditioning patterns. So we just get the effect through other people. I mean, we can't escape it. We don't need to. We just need to be connected to our inner wisdom to know how to use this energy in our favor, because we can't avoid it. That's the magic of the program. In the 2nd of August, the moon will be in the 5th gate, and we will have again 3 global conditioning patterns: the channel of the logic, the channel of synthesis, which is the bride and the groom, and the mystical drive for finding God. And we are going to have the channel of rhythm, the channel of being, a design of being in the flow. I'm noticing every time that this complete channel is there activated in the transits. As a 15, I really feel the compromise for that. This is really interesting. And again, we all need to notice if we are compromising to a channel that is a global conditioning transit. It's very, very interesting to see. It's different than if we have an electromagnetic combination with a transit. It's really takes us. I mean, that's what I feel when that's happened. It's like compromise to somebody, but because it lasts more time. Like, for example, we have this long time transits of the channel of the logic, and I can see that people that have only one gate, it affects them strongly. It's not like an electromagnetic combination. I invite you to check it and to see if that's the way it works for you too. Then another global conditioning pattern, when the moon reaches the 10th gate, we're going to have the perfected form in addition to the other 2 channels. And the perfected form really takes me to this understanding of the perfection, the process of the perfection, which all the time perfects itself. I mean, perfected, it's a word that can be interpreted in all kinds of ways. But for me, as I see it, the perfected form is a process. As perfect as we can be, it can always be more. And as a transition to the quarter of duality, as I see it, when we finished perfecting our form in the quarter of civilization, we are going to the next step when we need a mirror, when we need the quarter of duality to give us a mirror to jump to the next phase of perfecting our form. Because actually, when we're totally alone, we don't have our reflection, we don't have a way to reflect and see where is this perfection process, where are we in this perfection process. So we are sliding into the quarter of duality with the channel of the bride and the groom and with the perfected form. So we have an interesting journey ahead of us. So we will meet sometime in the quarter of duality. See you, and I remind you, strategy, authority, sleeping alone, that's what we need to perfect our form.